what's up, Clashers? Turin 56 from iKonik here, bringing you the first video in a new series on how to be a successful war clan. I have a lot of viewers now who aren't in the iKonik family, and I'm starting to get some questions about how to be a more successful war clan, so I'm going to dedicate a whole series of videos to that for you guys. Instead of putting it all together in one really long video, I figured it would be better to break it down into bite-sized little pieces for you, cover maybe one or two keys per video, and just be easier to watch this way, I think. I know I have a kind of a short attention span when it comes to watching these videos. I'm assuming a lot of you do as well. So in this video, we're going to be talking about really the first step, not even the first step, even the precursor to becoming a successful war clan is you have to have the correct mindset. And by that I mean you have to dedicate yourself to being a successful war clan, not just as an individual but as a clan. You have to really decide that that's what you're going to do. And that's not for everybody. Because it's gonna take time, it's gonna take energy, it may even take some money depending on how hardcore you want to go, and that's not how everyone wants to play this game. So you really have to decide, do I want to be in a hardcore war clan? Because it can be stressful. There's going to be a lot of pressure on you to perform in each war and each attack, to help out your clanmates, and you have to decide for yourself and as a clan, is that where we want to go? Because if you really do want to commit yourself to being a hardcore war clan, you really have to commit yourself to being a hardcore war clan. It's not going to come easy. So know that going in advance. But basically, so the first key to having this correct mindset is obviously war comes first. When you're playing the game, you can't really be in a farming clan anymore. It's a whole different mindset for farming clans and war clans. So war has to come first, which means everything else comes secondary. Your resources come secondary. There's no such thing in a hardcore war clan as not putting out the best possible army for each attack because you're trying to save resources for an upgrade. That's unacceptable. Resources come secondary, farming comes secondary, all that other stuff involved in the game is going to come secondary. And when you are farming, you need to be farming, targeted farming for the resources specifically that you need for your best war upgrades, for the upgrades that are going to be most effective to help you perform better in war. For defenses, I'll direct you towards my video on how to be an 8.5. The same principles will apply towards Town Hall 10s as well, how to be a 9.5. But essentially, it's about offense over defense. You want to prioritize your spells, your heroes, and the specific troops that you're going to be using to attack in war. That will artificially lower your war strength ranking because you're prioritizing those, as opposed to just trying to beef up your defenses as much as possible, because defenses are weighed much heavier than offenses are in the war strength algorithm. So that's the key there. Like I said, if you want more information, please check out my video on how to be an 8.5. With this war coming first, as with all of these keys, it's not just an individual. Your entire clan has to be on board. You can't win a war with 5 people who are thinking like this, who are really good attackers, and 25 people who are just there for farming and for the chat. So everyone has to be on board. The second key to having the correct mindset to be in a hardcore war clan is you have to commit yourself to improvement. Improvement as an attacker, improvement as a base designer to make your bases harder, and improvement towards just being a better team player and helping out your clan. Now, this is going to involve a big commitment in time because learning 3-star war compositions does not come easy, especially if you're starting from scratch. If you're starting from a farming clan that is not used to doing this. But you are on your way because, good news, the first step towards doing this is watch YouTube, which is what you're doing right now. Um, I'd like to think that my videos are at least somewhat helpful for you guys, so hopefully you can learn some things from my videos. I always direct people as much as possible towards Jake at One Hive Raids. His stuff is really good. It's top-notch quality information. He doesn't emphasize entertainment. My apologies to the YouTube community that's a little more infotainment out there and are just trying to get as many viewers as possible. I think content should come first, and so definitely Jake at One Hive, Hulk as well at the Hulk Files. Although I believe the Hulk is a little more directed towards people who are already pretty advanced in the game, but Jake is good for all levels of attackers. So that's the first step. Watch YouTube. Secondly is you have to practice these attacks. There is no substitute for attacking in war. You can practice specific techniques while you're farming. So funneling, for example, you can practice that when you're in the multiplayer when you're farming. How to lure and kill the clan castles of various types. That's something you can practice. How to get your wall breaker drops down. How to get your golems spread out so they move through the base nice and evenly. That's all stuff that you can practice. But when it comes down to it, there really isn't a substitute for the entire attack that you're going to do in war, because it's so different, because of the ability to scout your base, build your army specifically catered to that base itself, and know exactly what the game plan is coming in. So you have to war as much as possible. You have to practice these new attack strategies as much as possible. Try to learn as many of the 3-star compositions as you can. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of how-to videos out on attack strategies that are really good for 3-star compositions. Again, Jake, Hulk Files. Watch these on YouTube and then practice them in war. But be prepared to struggle early. Anytime you're trying to learn a new strategy, it's going to take some time. These are not easy strategies. They're not intended to be. Supercell has intentionally made it hard to get 3 stars on bases. So especially early on, you are going to fail way more than you're going to succeed. But trust me, if you stick with it, if you put in the time towards watching the YouTube videos and learning why these things work, and develop the critical thinking skills of how to break down a base, how to look at a base, and how to attack it, what the weaknesses are, and how to exploit them, then there's going to come a point where it's going to click. And it's all going to make sense, and you're going to be familiar with the troop compositions, and you're going to really start to learn what your individual troops are capable of and what they're capable of when they team up in certain combinations. And it's really going to click. And my advice to you early on is to practice on learning how to get proficient with one attack strategy first. Don't try to learn them all at first. Pick one. Whether it's Go Laloon or whether it's Hago Wiwi or whatever, pick one and try to get really good at that first. So you've got a go-to attack strategy. And then once you're good at that, then you can start dedicating yourself towards learning the other attack strategies. But the initial priority should be towards getting really good at one attack style. The next key on this is going to be, like I mentioned before, expect commitment from all of your members. I'm just going to go into a little more detail about what that means. Now, by expecting a commitment from all of your members, don't confuse this, at least initially, with results. Don't expect immediate results from all your members. What you're going to be looking for if you're a clan that's working their way up to being a successful war clan, working their way up towards getting a lot of 3 stars in war, is, are your members trying? Are they putting in the time and the effort to try to learn these new strategies? Are they trying to develop the critical thinking skills? Are they getting good at breaking down bases and identifying what type of strategy is going to be effective on those bases and why? Do they understand the fundamentals of three-star army compositions? And most importantly, are they customizing their attacks for the bases that they are attacking? Um, you absolutely cannot have cookie cutter armies in this game. If you're trying to be a successful war clan, you can't have somebody who's just training up their standard go wee wee. I'm going to train 3 golems and 4 witches and 18 wizards and 8 wall breakers because that's what I train up every time, and I'll just throw it at this base and see what happens. Unacceptable if you want to be in a successful war clan. You've got to have people who are catering their attacks to the base they're attacking. So initially, it's not going to get you direct results. You're not going to see everybody just start 3-starring overnight because it is a training or a learning process, and it's going to go slower for some than others, but hopefully they're all trying. Um, the last key here is if they're not trying, you have to be prepared to kick out your members. It sucks. Nobody likes to be a bad guy, especially if you're in a clan with a lot of people that you consider friends, either in real life or just over the game. It can really suck to have to kick out members, but it's got to be done. If you want to take your clan to the next level, if you want to be successful, you have to start weeding out the members who aren't going to contribute to the effort. You have to be consistent when you do this. You can't preferentially kick out people who are, your friends in real life, or I should say, you can't preferentially keep the people who are your friends who are in real life, or who are just really good donators, or whatever reason you want to keep them. You have to be consistent on who you kick out and who you keep, or else it's gonna make you look like a weak leader, essentially, if you are a leader, or the whole leadership of the clan in general. Um, but I'll say this: tolerating bad members, letting them get away with being a poor member for whatever reason, whether it's just they're not committed to being effective and learning the new techniques, so they're not going to be good attackers, or if they're just hard to get along with, or if they have enormous egos like we've had 1 or 2 people in my clan with, or if they're just selfish and they never donate and they always ask. Whatever it is, for whatever reason they're a bad member, tolerating bad members will drive away good ones. I guarantee it. You'll have members come in, new members who are really good attackers, who are going to be an asset to your clan. And if they see you guys tolerating crappy members who aren't contributing, who suck at attacking and don't donate, they're going to leave. They're going to go to another clan where they won't have to deal with that. So it's hard to improve as a whole if you're not cutting out the weakest members. And lastly on this, don't be afraid to go small. I know it's nice to have a 40-person clan. You build up that clan XP faster for your clan perks. There's a lot more people out there to donate to you, so your clan castles get filled up quicker, and it's just more fun because you have more people to talk to. But in my opinion, it's better to go small if you have to. If you know that you only have 20 good attackers, even 15 good attackers, don't be afraid to kick out everybody or start a brand new clan, for that matter, with your best members, and go small if you need it, because you don't need more than, I believe it's 10 people to go to war. You can be a successful war clan with a 10-member clan. So you don't always have to have 35, 40, 45 people in a war. And sometimes that's not an advantage to you if a big percentage of those members aren't going to contribute and aren't going to help out and be an asset, as opposed to a reliability, not reliability, a liability in war. So Those, as I see it anyhow, those are the keys to having the correct mindset for being a successful war clan in this game. Stay tuned for more videos on this topic. I'm going to try to get them out fairly quickly since I can hammer these out without doing too much research on studying the attacks, breaking down the attacks. I just roll some attacks in the background while I'm talking. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you are going to learn something from this, and hopefully it'll help you guys become more successful war clan in the future. Until next time, this is Turn 56 saying keep on clashing.